My name's Jason. I work for the company Panoramic here in South Africa, Johannesburg. Today we are going to be showing you how to build virtual tours to go through and Google Maps. The camera that we use is Insta360. What's nice about this camera, it's got the double lens. It takes a 6K shot, so every 360 degree photo is a 6K shot. And stuff that you're going to need, obviously, is you're going to need a stand like this. You've got the camera. Let's get started. So the first thing I do is I make sure that all my lenses are clean before I start, because with the quality of these photos, it picks up any smudges on the camera. So what we've got is a little carry bag that we use, and every time after we set up the camera, we set it up, we wipe off the lenses, make sure everything is nice and tight, because you do not want to drop this camera. So you push the button on the side, get it started up, and then what's nice about this camera is you can control it from your phone. So from the Insta360 website, you download the control app, you get your camera started up. Once the camera started, you need to make sure that your Bluetooth and your Wi-Fi is activated on your phone, because it connects through that. Then you go to the connection, just wait for the camera to start up. As you can see, on the camera you've got your different settings. So you've got your different megapixels. We make sure that it's on 72 megapixels. Your timer is off. Make sure it's on there. And then also when you're in your camera, make sure that you're on 360 degrees. Because if you shoot with a single lens, it's not going to take with the other lens. So now, as you can see on my phone, we go connect through the Wi-Fi. Now once it's connected, you can control the camera from your phone. So let's just make sure it connects. Yes, it's perfect. So that's what you'll get when it first connects, and then it's going to say that it's going to switch off your screen. Put your phone onto photo. Make sure that everything is on auto and you're on JPEG. Don't go pure shot or raw JPEG, because then your files are massive. If you've got a 32 gig memory card like we've got in our phone, it cuts down your shots that you are able to take with the phone. Make sure you've also got data on your phone, because with this camera, it puts your GPS points into the map. You can make sure that you're on 360 degrees, you're on photo. Your first couple of photos are going to take a long time. So you can see I'm capturing here. It's going to take a long time to process it. The best things to have with you when you're going to do the shoots, obviously the camera and the stand and your cleaning cloth and a car charger. So you can keep your camera charged 100% all the time, because the battery does run out quite quickly with the quality of the photo. Every 5 steps, so I take the camera from this point here, I walk 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is my next point there. So when you are doing it, you need to make sure when you are walking that you are able to get through. You need to be able to have a path, direct path and line of sight to where you're going. So you're not walking through tables. You're not walking through walls. You're not walking through cars. When you get to a client, go walk around, check what is around first. If there is anything that is going to be in the shot that you don't want in the shot, like for example, people cleaning floors, people wiping down tables. I did a shoot at a restaurant that the waiters were busy cleaning. I asked them to quickly please get all their stuff cleaned up, and then I can do my shoots. If you need to wait a little bit, then get that shot in, because at the end of the day, if the client is not happy with the shoot, you are going to have to go back and you're going to have to reshoot that whole client's property. You will have to go and reshoot that whole thing. So best thing, go to the client, speak to them, say to them, listen, I'm here to do your shoots. Can you please get your staff to make sure that everything's clean and out of the way, and then you can do your shoots. So now we are outside. So when you are doing any shots on a property, what you need to do is you need to make sure that you are in the center of the entrance. The gate or the door is closed. You have your camera in the center. It takes a little bit longer. You need to make sure that your camera is set up and everything is 100% before you go ahead, because it's going to save you time. So I've counted between 15-20 minutes to take 2 images when the camera first starts and on connected to your phone, depending on your internet connection as well, because obviously you're going to be using data so I can get those GPS points. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now you can see we are in the middle of the street. Now, with regards to this, you need to make sure that you guys are not in the shot. Make sure that your camera is leveled off, so if it's not level, you can move it a little bit over. Now you can see that the camera is a lot more level, because in parking lots, in streets, you're not going to have a level surface. So make sure that your camera is level. So now what you do is you make sure that there's no vehicles or people that are going to be able to bump the camera, and you walk off to the side. Best thing is to hide behind a vehicle. Make sure that you're not too far away from the camera with your phone, because with Bluetooth it is a limitation on your distance. Down behind the car, so we can also see here that we are not in the shot, and we can take that shot. Okay, so once the camera is clicked, you can go back to the camera, and then your GPS location is put into that with the camera. So from this point, I count 10 steps, because in the street you don't need as many photos. So we'll go. Now we put the camera here. Obviously making sure that the camera is stable, because if the camera falls over and those lenses get scratched, you are going to see them on the images. These images will pick it up with the quality of the camera. So now I can go and hide behind that. If you have a look on the phone here, you can see that we are not in the shot. So we heard the click there. Back to where we took the original photo. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I can see I'm perfect. I'm back in the middle of that shot. So you go to another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Put your camera here. Once again, making sure that it is stable and it's not going to fall over. If you have a situation of that there's high winds, what we also do is we take the camera and we hold it up like this. So now we go and hide behind the cars again. Make sure that we are not in the shots, and we can take that photo. Heard that click, so we can go back to the camera. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We are at the property line again. So now, this is where you're going to be playing the game of hide and go seek. You'll go back to your childhood. I can see there's some plants there. I can hide behind those plants. So I'll go and hide behind those plants. Back down again. You look on the camera. You can't see yourself, so you can take that photo. Make sure that your camera is not going to get bumped. Because as I said, these lenses, they get scratched very easily, but if you don't have lens protectors, it's going to be a big problem if your camera gets damaged. So let's get back to. Okay guys, so we're back at the position. We are in the middle of the gate. So what we'll do is we'll go back to the point where we took our first photo, which is here. Now, what I do is I check if there's anything on the floor just to mark of where I was. Like for example, a painted brick or a piece of grass or whatever. You can check where your camera was. The fluidity of the photos is important, because if you are off by half a meter, you're going to see it when you're busy taking your photos. The gate is closed. The next photo we'll take is at the gate, which will be 5 steps. Then you take it when the gate is open. The next photo after that must be with the gate open. Clients, the illusion of they open the gate, they walking through the gate, and they walking through the property. So guys, now what we're going to do is we're going to open this gate. From this point, we will come to where the gate was. So it gives the client the illusion of that they are walking through that gate. So what we'll do is we'll hide around the corner. Guys, now it's very important that you cannot be seen in these images. Make sure, as you can see here, we are looking on the phone. We're not seen on the phone, and then we can take that image. The photographer cannot be seen in those images. It's alright if you've got clients, for example, in a restaurant or in a shop. Make sure that you've got your continuity in check. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm here. Now what you'll see is that we've got a direct path to where you're going to be taking your photos. Guys, it's important that you need to have a direct path. So we'll just move out of the way now so that we can take this photo as well. You can see everything is perfect on your phone and you can take those photos. Obviously, once again, you hear that click, then you can move to your next point. So from this point, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got my direct line of path and I can check here. Yes, I'm going to have direct line of path to that side as well. Then you can take that photo. So you can see here next, we're going to have a photo that's less than 5 steps. That's not a problem. You need to keep your continuity. So what we'll do is we'll hide away again. Not seeing the photo, and capture. So now if you look here, we've got less than 5 steps. So just go to your next point, which will be over here. Now you hide away behind the corner, you keep your continuity in check, make sure that once again you are not in the photo, and you can take that photo. 1, 2, 3. Now you see that I can't go any further. So that's going to be 3 steps there. Make sure that you are in line with your last photo. If you're in line with your first photo, you're going to keep that sequence going beautifully. Then I'll show you what we can do if you go off at a slight angle on your building. It's going to look slightly off, but what you do is when you're busy aligning the photos on the computer, there's a red line I'll show you later. You can see everything, it works beautifully. Okay, so guys, we've taken this photo here. So as you're going to see, there's going to be a slight angle. So from this point, you go 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, my best suggestion is take it at this point here. Because from here, you can go straight through that gate there. So make sure that your camera is perfectly aligned with that gate. So you can see the camera's in line with that gate now. So, once again, you hide away from the camera. This is where you have that you're going to make sure that you're looking around and seeing what is happening around you. Because we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You stop at the step here. But there is a door. That's an entrance into the property. So what you'll do is you'll actually go back. You have in line with the door. So that when you are busy, especially on properties, if you're doing anything with regards to with real estate agents or shopping centers, you're not always going to have your 5 steps. You have 2, 3. You need to make sure that you are checking what is going on around you. Then you move out of the way. That you can move into the property. But what I prefer to do is I take the outside photos first and then I take the interior photos. Now, again, you've got steps there and you've got a door here. So what you can do is go a little bit further to here. Now, you can get through the door and you can go down the steps in your virtual tour. Okay, so guys, now we're taking the next photo. We've moved from the position that was there by the sliding door and in the middle of that patio. We've moved here to the middle of the courtyard, and we can see that the photos are going to line up nicely. What you can even do if you want to is, if you've taken a photo there by the door, you can make a step back, but it's not really necessary to do that. But if you want to have it, you can do that. You remember I told you that I look on the floor to see where my camera was. So it's here by these bricks here. So we're going to get our camera and we put it back on these bricks here. So now I'm perfectly aligned with the door and I'm perfectly aligned with that step again. So we go from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put your camera down here, and then once again find a place to hide. We're just going to take the rest of the shots outside. When we get to a part that I'm going to point something out to you guys that you need to make sure of, then I'm going to show it to you, and then we can see everything on there. With the timer, you're not going to have your GPS points because it's not connected to your phone anymore. So with this, you are going to have to move it around on the map, which we'll show you, and then you can get your points into the places they need to be. So what we're going to do is we're going to move into that area over there. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we are just after that corner. We make sure that the camera is nice and level, and then we're going to take this next photo. So you just make sure that you've got a place to hide. So you push your button, 5 seconds, and you're here for that click. So now we can do the next photo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can see here. Now, obviously you have multiple points that you can hide around here. You can go back around where you came from, and you can even go around the corner there. So you just go onto your camera, you push your timer, and you have that click. So now, as I said before, make sure that you can get back to the point that you were originally at. So you take your camera back to that point. Which is around about here. So you don't have to take this photo again. You can move to your next point, because I'm going to show you now. 1, 2, 4, 5. You've got your camera over here. Now, you're seeing that there's washing on the washing line there of this client. When you come and do it, do your walkthrough first. Check how you're going to do your photos. You would actually, with the client, say, listen, do you mind if we take your washing off the line? Take off the washing off the line. Make sure that if there's ashtrays around, make sure the ashtrays are emptied. We go around the camera. And 5 seconds. So from there, you can make 5 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, you're seeing that you're ending in a spot where you're not going to have your continuity that's going to look very nice. So what you can do is you can move over slightly. So now you can see that you've got a direct line of path. You put your camera down, make sure that your camera is stable, and then you look again, where can I hide? You put your timer on and you go and hide. So now guys, what we've done is we've taken the photos of the exterior of the property. So now we're going to go inside. So now you make sure that your camera is in the center of the door. You take this photo. So obviously I said we've taken the rest of the photos, so I'm just going to show you the placements of the camera and you can see exactly where it goes. So from here you go 1, 2, 3, 4. Make sure that you are in line with the door. You take your photo. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you've got a situation of that you are in the middle of nowhere and you've got maybe 2 or 1 step ahead. So just move a little bit forward and you can take that photo. So now you've got a table here. You can't go through the table, so you move your camera off to the side like this, and you're in this doorway here. Make sure that you're in the center of the doorway, and that you're in line with your last photo. So, once again, you got one step, you add another door. Don't worry about it, it's going to help with your continuity. So then, after that, you go to the next door.
Mwah, you see me.
And you make sure that you are in the door. Then you've got your next door. If you're doing real estate, go into the bathroom. So you come to the door here, and then you can go into the bathroom. In a situation of a restaurant or a public place, don't go into the bathrooms with the camera because privacy laws and all that type of stuff. So you can go into that bedroom there, you can go into the bathroom if it's a real estate situation. Then you would come back this way. Your last photo was in the center of this door. Then you'd go into that room there. Then you come back to here. You've taken the last photo here, so you'd go into this room here. You take a photo there. Your next photo would be here. Because as you can see, we've got desks here. So it's going to help with continuity. Now I'm going to show you a room where there is no desks inside. It's all around the sides. So we took our last photo here. We took our next photo here. Now you've got a scenario where you've got a seating area. You can go to the middle of the seating area like this and take that photo. Then you'd move back to the center of the door. Then you'd go into this room here. We took a photo here, so it helps with the walking through the door. And we took our next photo here. Now, when keeping in mind, we took a photo outside this door. So when you got your camera, if you've got a photo outside that door, make sure that your camera lines up with that door and with that door. So if you've got a slight angle on, it's not a problem, but it'll help out with your continuity and you walking in and your arrows and your points. Okay, so guys, now we've taken all our photos. So I'm going to show you my way of taking the photos off. If you feel that you want to do it a different way, like for example, connecting the camera directly to the computer, you can do that. I just find that it's a lot easier for me to take the photos off the memory card that's inside the camera, plug it into the computer with a USB reader, and then we can pull all those images off. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you some things that I've learned with the software. So for example, if your camera internal gyroscope hasn't been properly calibrated, the software auto levels all your photos. Now, I take that auto leveling off. I'm going to show you how to do it, and then you're going to see what the difference is, because if your camera's gyroscope is off, all your photos are going to be off. You're not going to be able to build the 360 degree tour properly, because all your photos are going to be static at one level. So this will stop that from happening. So let's go ahead and take all these photos off, and then I can show you how the stitching gets done. The software does it automatically for you, and I can show you how to do the export, and then we're going to show you how to do the building on the system. So we'll be back with you guys now. Okay, so now guys, what you can see is that these photos are almost finished uploading. We've got you up to the last one. So what you'll do is you'll see that once it's finished uploading, you'll see that this bar here is going to be full. So these ones are finished uploading, so you can check the file names. Once that's done, let's give it a second and then it finishes up. As I said, depending on your internet connection, it can take a while for these photos to upload. It even comes into situations of what your lighting quality is. I've had situations where the photos can get up to 60 megs in size. So that's there is now completed. So you just click done. Now you can see all these photos here. You can see that the GPS points approximately in this area that we were at. So these photos here, as you remember, we were hiding behind the car. So that's where those photos are going to be. So what you do is you just drag them and go into the correct area. So you go to navigation, you go to desktop moderator. Once you're in the desktop moderator, you're going to see all your photos here. They're going to come up. So there's one of the photos there. You just double click it so that you can get it to show up. As I said as well, depending on your internet speed. So there's the first photo that we shot. So that photo we don't want because we are in that photo. So what you do is you delete that photo out. So any photos that you see that you've got yourself in those photos, you just delete those photos. So I'm going to delete this one as well because I'm in that photo. So we're on this photo here. You can see that we are in the middle of the road. So just double click that. And depending on the direction that you're going to be moving, that is where you take those photos. So we'll turn around like this. We're going to be heading down that direction first. Then you get your next photo. You put that photo into place. And then we can get this all lined up. So now you can see you can move this photo around to line your stuff up. If you want to double check, like I've got it on the tree line down there, you have this one here, so you line it up with that tree line there, and then you press the forward key on your keyboard or the W key. So now we've got the next photo. We just go to your next photo, you double click it into place, and then you can get this photo lined up as well. So you got that photo lined up, and then you go forward. So now you can see I've made a mistake here. This photo is actually incorrect. So you go to expand, you go to where your photos are, you deselect that one there, click back onto your old photo. So we were at the end of the property line from what I can see here. So we go back to number 3, we go reduce, and then we turn around, and then we can see right. This photo is in that sequence. So what I'm doing is I'm going to line up with that tree over there, and then we double click that in. So now we've got that tree line in there, so that's perfect. We'll go in. So now with your keyboard, you can see where you are. So you go to your next photo, so you can see what your sequence is. So I just want to check here, yes. So now we are on the next photo, so you double click it into place, and then you line up your photo like so. So now you can check your continuity. My suggestion as well, go back, so you can check all of that as well. So now we're going to be in the middle of this gate here. So our next photo was on the pavement, or for our American friends, the sidewalk. So we go onto the side here, we line it up with that sign there like that, and we go in. So you can see your continuity. Next photo, you got it here like this. So you just make sure that, yeah, that is the correct photo. So now we go into it, and we line it up with that back garage door. So now you can see that we've got the gate open, so the client feels like they are walking in. So we go to the next photo. So here's your next continuity. Now what we've done is we've lined it up with this garage door's handle. We go in, and then you can see here that we lined up with that door. So we've got all this perfect. So now you can see here. Now what you guys are going to see here is that this photo is a little bit offline. So you drag onto the side here, you go in and you can realign that arrow there. Now, I'm going to show you another trick here with this as well. So for example, you don't want to have people being able to see your number plates on cars and stuff like that. So what you do is press B, you go Shift Z, so you can zoom in on that, and then you drag a box over that number plate, so that number plate there is taken out, and you do the same here. So what you can do is you go to all your photos, you check, like some people in restaurants, they don't want to have their photos online. I've had a couple of situations where I've had clientele in the restaurants, they said, please don't have us in the photos, we don't want to have our photos taken. So then you can actually blur them out. So now you can see here, those are blurred out. That's obviously going to be too far, they're not going to be able to see anything there. So also what Google does on Google Maps is like this sign here. What they would do is they would blur that sign out. So you can go Z, and then you can blur this sign out here like so, and then that whole sign is blurred out. You can even move your blurring box so it's perfectly over. So after you finish blurring, you press B again. It's not going to show you in the tour itself, but it's going to show you like that. So just make sure that everything is lined up so that when you are walking through, everything is in sequence. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build this tour up for you guys, and then once I've done that, then I'm going to show you how to do the uploading of it online. It's because we're building this to go through, so the best thing is to use Google Chrome. Google Chrome gives you a lot more options and plugins and stuff like that for go through. So I find the best is to use Google Chrome, and then just log in with your account, and then you're going to go through. Okay, so guys, what I've done is I have built the whole tour now. So if you can actually have a look, you can go through the tour, and you can see all the photos, and they've all been stitched together. Let me just zoom out here for you. So there's basically the property there. So there was something I wanted to show you guys in real time. So click over to satellite view. You can see here that this is not lining up correctly with the map. So we will highlight this and we will move it over so it is correct with the map. So we got all of this there like so. Okay, so then just click out of that, then you can zoom in. So now we've got this imagery here, so we go back to map, so we can get back into it more, and then you will highlight that like so, get that onto the road. Just make sure that your lines are lining up like they were before, and then we can, basically this is ready for publishing from our side. So you'll just click here and you go save. One thing I can say to you guys, as with anything, any documentation you make, the main thing is save, save, save. So we can go in here, you can walk through, and I'm showing you this image here. So you've got that aligned with the door. Then you're back into the center of this room. You can go through, you get to this door here, so the door's closed, now the door's open, and you can walk through. So now, if there's any information that needs to be taken out, you just go blur, you go shift, and you can blur, for example, what's on this whiteboard here out. You can blur that person out there, and this information here. So we go to the next image, and then everything is right there. So it's just basically that image there that we had to blur anything out. So once again, you go out of blurring mode and you click save. Now, in order to publish this now, you would go to this tab here. I refresh it. Now you can see on the map, everything is there. So then you go to Google and then you publish Street View. And then you can start publishing. Okay. So that's basically it, guys. So we are just going to start publishing soon. So that is your tour, how to build a tour. So guys, if there's any questions that you need, you can let us know. If you guys are working for My Panoramics, then you obviously have my email address, or you can make some notes in the comments below, and then we'll get notified of any comments. So guys, yes, that's basically how we do a photo shoot and to build it. What we will do is we will also start showing you how to do a virtual interactive tour, and then we can get all of that sorted out. Enjoy your building, guys, and goodbye.